Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is truly my honor to have three amazing guests with me this evening. I just can't tell you how excited I am. All of these amazing guests are my friends and my mentors. I truly been blessed by each and every one of them in my life. And we all partnered together with an incredible wellness company that is literally changing lives around the globe. And this is why we're so excited. And we're excited to share all this information with you tonight. These three physicians have spent countless of hours over the years leading their patients to better health. Additionally, they are all U.S. veterans. Dr. Sean McKee, Dr. Neil Goodman, and Dr. Deb Viglione, we celebrate each of you, and we are incredibly thankful for your service to our country. So appreciative of you. So my name is Debbie Zito. I'm from St. Simons Island, Georgia, a little coastal island in Georgia. I practice here as a pediatric and adolescent physician assistant, and I just celebrated my 30th year in medicine. I have the best job and the most fun job. And I'm not a veteran, but my dad, a physician and a veteran, served in Vietnam. I was actually born when he was deployed. I don't think that counts, but we celebrate my dad tonight too, and my brother who served in the Gulf War, and actually my husband Mike, who is a U.S. reservist for approximately 8 years. So I collaborated with this incredible group of people. We are empowered by this new wave of medicine called Nutrigenomics, and we are professional biohackers, and we are certainly proud of this. We just feel it's so very important to spread the word. So thank you, each of you, for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I promise you, you're going to be enlightened by what we're sharing with you this evening. A little bit about my story, guys. I found my health crumbling, literally crumbling 5 years ago. I was approaching a big birthday. It was my 50th birthday. And years ago, I lost my mom to cancer just shy of her 50th birthday. And I was losing what I call my mojo. I was anxious. I was not sleeping well. I was sad. I was overwhelmed by my work schedule. And I just kept thinking about my mom. What if I'm predisposed to this cancer? I need to get control of my health. And this was how I was introduced to nutrigenomics. I was looking for a solution. I was looking for information to be proactive with the next 50 years of my life. And Dr. Sean McKee, I'm forever grateful to you for introducing me to biohacking. So I want to introduce my first guest, my friend, Dr. Sean McKee. We actually went to high school together many years ago. I'm not going to say how many, but Dr. Sean is always a brilliant student. Just so kind to everyone, and really the hardest of workers that I've ever met. And again, like I said, Dr. Sean, I'm so grateful for you to introducing me to what literally has changed my life and my family's life. Dr. Sean is a board certified neuroradiologist. She's a two-time, not one time, but two-time 140.6 mile Ironman triathlete and an ultra marathon. Sean, I don't think I can run 140.6 feet. That's pretty impressive. She served as a major in the U.S. Air Force from 1997 to 2001, where she was chief of neuroradiology at Keesler Medical Center. She's married to her amazing husband, Day, such a great guy. He's actually a gastroenterologist and a huge supporter of our company. And she's the best mom to two amazing sons who are currently in college. So I'd love to start with you, Sean, and ask you a few questions if I could. We're all living in a day and age where our health is being hijacked by so many things in our environment. The air we breathe every day, the foods that come from our toxic soil, the emotional stress we're under, the physical stress that we're under, people that consume alcohol, drugs, so many things. Our bodies are being hijacked every single day. And here at our company, we love to talk about the term biohacking. Like I said, we're all professional biohackers. Would you mind enlighten us a little bit? Give us some insight. Give us a little simple definition of the term biohacking.
Well, awesome. I would love to. And Debbie, thank you so much for that kind introduction. I'm just so happy that we reconnected after all these decades from high school. So I love the term biohacking because it's really a combination of two important words: bio, which means life, right? Biology, and hacking, which means optimizing. When you have a life hack, it means that you figured out a way to prevent some kind of annoying thing to happen or to improve the outcome of something. And biohacking is simply that. It's improving the outcome, optimizing your own biology to become the best version of you. And I love that, that's what we do. We make people better, and in doing so, we make the world a better place. And biohacking sometimes to some people may seem like a scary term, but it's basically optimizing your own biology from a genetic standpoint at the root.
I love that. And I feel biohacked. I feel so much better. I didn't finish my story. I was on this journey, that what if journey. And you guys, I literally found an answer and feeling better over the months. And now 5 years into being biohacked, I feel like me again. So I'm so thankful. So Sean, how are you introduced to activation?
It's funny. I was actually introduced by my doctor about 10 years ago. I was feeling kind of the same thing you were feeling. I was feeling frazzled, harassed, harried, harangued. I just felt exhausted, really. When I would sit on the couch at the end of the day, my husband's telling me about his day and he's turned on a TV show, I would literally be asleep in the first 5 minutes. Anytime my family would sit down to watch a movie, I would be asleep. I wouldn't remember the movie. My kids would laugh because I would say, we should see, Toy Story or whatever. And they'd be like, Mom, we saw it. I'm like, we did. I remember wanting to see it. I don't remember seeing it because I was asleep. And my husband would walk into the bedroom in the morning with a cup of coffee and set it on the nightstand, hoping the aroma would wake me up, because I literally felt like I had just fallen asleep right before my alarm went off. Because at some point during the night, I'd woken up at 2, 3 in the morning. And it would be like I was thinking about all the things I had to do the next day. My heart was racing. I was producing norepinephrine instead of what I should have been producing, which is cortisol. In fact, when I had my test of my cortisol levels, it's supposed to be highest in the morning and gradually diminished throughout the day. Mine was below like the floor of the graph in the morning, and it barely inched up to within 50% of the baseline. It never got to the part where it's supposed to be. So just my adrenals were just completely depleted. And so my husband finally suggests that now, but this is before testing, he suggested that I go to see this age management doctor who he sends all his patients to, when they're kind of failing and flagging and they come back looking like $1 million. And I was kind of thankful, but I was also kind of irritated. Like, wait, what are you saying? Anti-aging doctor? But you know what? It turns out that was the best thing. She put me on her best cocktail of anti-aging supplements, and I was taking 28 pills a day and plus hormones, and I was like, okay, I'm going to feel great. I didn't feel any better. I'm taking 28 pills a day. Now I've got to open all these bottles, swallow all these pills, before I start my day. And it just was more work, and I never felt any better. And when I went back to see her 6 months later, she says, how you doing? I said, I hate taking that many pills. And she said, well, there is one thing that's clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by almost half in 30 days in everyone who takes it. And they have real peer-reviewed published studies done by major medical schools. She had me at hello, because I knew what oxidative stress was. I knew that is rusting from the inside. I know oxidation is not good. It rusts apples. It browns apples. It rusts metal. And it was making me tired and frazzled. And that's how I found out about it. And I'm so thankful she uttered those words.
Well, I tell you what, activation shines through you. In fact, that's what attracted me to reach out to you. I followed you on social media, and your posts were just fascinating to me. All of the posts about improving cognition, and you had more energy. And I thought, you know what, we're the same age. And why does she look so much younger than me and stronger and shows more vitality? So I was thankful that I reached out to you, and am forever grateful. So your activation is showing beautifully on you, Sean. Tell us a little bit in other ways, how has activation changed your life besides just your health?
Well, I have to say your activation is looking good on you as well. So it definitely shows. I love your story. I want to say you have made an incredible health enhancement throughout your journey. And for me, you know, I just have more energy. I have more focus. I'm in a better mood. Things don't frazzle me. You know, I remember a couple of stories where after starting activation, some things would happen, like a situation at work, a situation after work where I was supposed to go to see, you know, Jimmy Buffett literally was in town to open up his new casino. And I had VIP tickets and I got a flat tire and I was just calm about it. Normally I'd be like, darn it, I'm gonna miss it, you know, dang it, you know, that was the old me. And I'm sitting there going, oh, well, I guess I'm going to miss it. I'm thinking, who is this calm person? And I was like, wow. And my kids even said, you know, we like the post-activation mama. She's a lot less snappish than the pre-activation mom. I'm thinking, well, you know, actually I see that. So I feel more like me. I feel more relaxed, more just really connected with life. And also I love the fact that I collect stories every single day, not every single day, but almost every single day, from people whose lives are dramatically better. They can now do XYZ for the first time in years, or they no longer have to deal with ABC for the first time in years. And that just makes me feel really good inside. So I feel good from a cellular standpoint, but I also feel good because I get to vicariously experience other people feeling the same way.
I love that. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Nothing better than living your best life, right? So thank you so much. So now I'd love to introduce my next guest, Dr. Deb Viglione. Dr. Viglione, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you rushed in from work, so appreciative of you as always. So Dr. Viglione served 11 years in the U.S. Air Force, and she's a veteran of the first Gulf War. She is board certified in internal medicine and anti-aging regenerative medicine. She has a private integrative internal medicine and wellness practice in Gulf Breeze, Florida. She really has that beautiful gift of balancing and regulating one's hormones and specializing in finding the root causes of why we age and why we have disease. And you guys, this is incredibly important. You know, all of us have a background in traditional medicine. And unfortunately, we weren't always trained in finding the root cause. You know, I feel like a lot of what we learned was putting Band-Aids on things, you know, coming up with a diagnosis and putting a Band-Aid on it. But it really is about getting to the root cause. And that's what I love about your practice, Dr. Viglione. She focuses on restoring youthfulness, health, and vitality in her patients. She has 4 children and 2 stepchildren, and she loves anything outdoors, you guys. If you see pictures of Dr. Deb, she's outside. She especially loves water and snow skiing. You know, Dr. Deb, I know you were recently on a snow skiing trip, and I'm glad you came home safe and sound. So I'd love to ask you a few questions, if that's okay. First one I'd love to start with is, tell us a little bit more about what you mean about being an integrative physician.
Well, you touched on it for sure when you were talking about our training. Traditional training is all about disease management. So in internal medicine, we get the sickest of the sick, you know, with the worst diseases you've heard of. And guess what? It's all about medications. It's all about treatment. We're not curing those diseases, and we're not necessarily making people feel better. Sometimes we do. We get the blood pressure down, but that doesn't usually make people feel better. Sometimes they feel worse because they have side effects to the medication. Well, I went into medicine because I really wanted to help people. I wanted to cure people. And, you know, and I was doing okay with what I was doing, but you know, it wasn't fun because I wasn't having somebody come back with a story like Sean was talking about. Thank you. You know, you gave me my life back. I feel so much better. I'd be like, here, your labs look great. And they're like, yeah, but I don't feel good. Can I come off of this stuff? So I didn't know your story until tonight, but my mom got cancer at age 68, and it was a horrible cancer. And I knew that conventional therapy for her cancer was not going to fix her. So that catapulted me into looking for alternatives, started reading books, took her to a holistic practitioner. And that's really what started me on learning about alternatives to traditional medicine. And so it's been a gradual process through the years of learning more. So when I say integrative, I'm looking at a way to help the body heal rather than use the pharmaceuticals. I still have to use them for symptoms, but as I treat the biological pathways with supplements and now gene activation, I can actually make inroads into getting their body healed and whole again. And that's been extremely rewarding.
So I think that's amazing, looking at this as a whole and, and not these subparts. And so, you answered a little bit about my next question. So you were introduced to cellular activation, right? And obviously empowered by having this new knowledge of what it can do to help your patients and even lead you to better health, right? Has this drastically changed the way that you practice medicine?
Oh yes, it's not the same person, but the person Dr. Sean was actually seeing, that was me. Only 28 supplements was about half what I usually did. People left with 30 to 40 routinely. And I'd make this big list and tell them to go out and find these supplements, and they would buy the cheapest whatever they could find. It was horrible. And they did get better, over time. I mean, it certainly was helping, but I'm trying to get at the root of the problem. Well, the root of all diseases and aging is something called oxidative stress, which Dr. Sean was talking about. So I knew that, but unfortunately, none of these products really supplementing actually do the job. And there's, loads of data. You can eat the rainbow all day long and you will not make really a big dent in your oxidative stress because there's so many pollutants and things that we alluded to out there. So I was helping people, but when I heard about activation, I knew enough that it was going to be a game changer. And so I jumped in with both feet forward and said, let's go. And it has changed everything about what I do. It's miraculous. I mean, the stories I get literally every day is, you changed my life, you saved my life, you gave my life back, you're a rock star. It's crazy, but it's so awesome. That's what keeps me going. And I want to do this forever. I never want to retire because I love making people feel better.
I love that so much. There's so much power behind our company. We have published peer-reviewed studies. We're publicly traded on NASDAQ. And I think each of you will agree with me that we all will approach this, or we all did approach it in the beginning with a little skepticism. We looked at it. We've all had patients that come into our practice with multiple supplements. They haven't been studied. They don't know the synergy of the products. Just because something is all natural doesn't mean that it is all good. And so that's why we are here. We love the company. We know that we can put our names behind products that are working. And here we have these testimonies, like you both have said, day after day. I just had a beautiful one today come in with someone's husband, and it just made my whole day. So Dr. Viglione, looking at this, what is probably the most important thing that you love being part of this science-based nutrigenomic company?
Well, it's the science, like you said. I would say that 9 out of 10, or even more than that, of the products that are out there on the market don't have any research behind their product. There's a few companies who do research. That's expensive. And so the products are generally more expensive if you buy something that's actually been proven to work. So when I came into this company, they had 11 peer-reviewed studies. Now there's 27. That's super important to me because that validates that the product works. That's why I jumped in, no doubt in my mind. I just couldn't wait to see what it did and how soon it did it and when I would see a change in their labs. So the science is there and the company is committed to that. They're going to continue to do research on their products and give us the very best quality of everything that we come out with. And I love that they're on the forefront of gene activation or nutrigenomics, because as far as I know, nobody's really doing that. And they're trying to copy what we're doing, but they're not studying it. So we don't know what their products do. So that's super exciting. But the other thing that, COVID really kind of taught us this last year, we live in a global world that we can connect through the internet. And so our ability to take this science to others and tell other people is a lot bigger than my practice here in Gulf Breeze. I can reach so many more people around the world and help them get their lives back on track. So that's super exciting for me.
That is amazing. What a global gift to be part of an opportunity to help people all around the world. I mean, to me, it just makes the oath that we made to help people and do good and do the best for everybody just that much better. So thank you, Dr. Viglione. I just think you're amazing, and I appreciate you so
You are
much.
too.
So I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Neil Goodman. Dr. Neil Goodman and I have practiced together in our very fun job in pediatrics for over 20 years. Dr. Neil Goodman is a 14-year veteran U.S. Army major. His beautiful and extremely wife, Dr. Margaret Goodman, is also a biohacker with us. She's an OBGYN, and she was a major in the U.S. Army where she served for 8 years. Over the past 26 years, Dr. Goodman has served as Assistant Chief of Pediatrics at multiple Army hospitals and also Chief of Pediatrics of our local hospital, where he actually was brave enough to serve not 1 term, but 2 terms at our hospital. And he's just amazing, you guys. He's been practicing in medicine for over 35 years. People literally come to see him from surrounding communities because he has that amazing reputation and people just love him. He's a member of the IFM, A4M, and the member of American Academy of Pediatrics. So Dr. Neil Goodman, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to join this great group of ladies and esteemed doctors who are veterans. I'm very, very proud to have served our country with you all.
I'm just so thankful for you, Dr. Goodman. You know how much I love you and appreciate you. You're one of my best friends in the whole world and have been an amazing mentor to me for 20 years. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you're truly passionate about nutrigenomics. I personally have watched your health transformation over the past several years with our products. Tell me this, at what point and why did you change from being a nutrigenomic product user to becoming a team member or a distributor with our company?
Well, initially when I discovered nutrigenomics and what it could do for me, I have to tell you my original reasons for using the products were pretty selfish. I wanted to improve my own health. I came from a family where neither one of my parents lived past their 55th birthday. They both, unfortunately, and you hear the story a lot, they succumbed to cancer because of bad habits and things that they had done or inadvertently been exposed to. And as I approached that same birthday, I was really wondering if my genetic predisposition was going to set me up for the exact same situation. And so I became real concerned about what I needed to do to change that. And I became aware that by using cell signaling methods that are plant-based, that I had the opportunity to change my epigenetic expression, where I did not necessarily have to have the same outcome based on what you would expect that I was given in terms of my genetic predisposition. And I learned that through integrative studies that I did not even know existed because I was trained in a traditionally Western form of medicine. And especially in pediatrics, it was just as Dr. Deb Viglione mentioned, we learned all about disease and we learned about what medicines we would use to treat disease. And I was on a number of different medicines to control, my own personal problems. Honestly, I just saw myself going down the tubes and I needed to change something quick if I was going to have any chance of a lifestyle that exceeded that of my parents. So I became, and you touched on it, a distributor, I guess you could call it that, or a team member, because I wanted to be able to profess to my patients and the people that I served the potential that they too could have the same health benefits that I was realizing.
So, here you are, a physician, a battalion grade field officer.
Right.
And now you introduce the component of being a network marketer. Did that make you feel uncomfortable at all, jumping into this new paradigm, something that was so different from you? You knew nothing about,
I was totally unprepared for what that even meant or what the significance of network marketing was. I was a little scared by it, to be honest with you, because I didn't really understand what network marketing was. And then I sort of realized that, I was networking with my patients, I was networking with my patients' parents, I was networking with friends, I was communicating science, I was communicating something that I was passionate about with friends and family. And if you think about, that interaction that we do with our patients every day, where we talk about what might benefit somebody, it's a form of networking. It's communication of a skill set, right? You're giving information to people. And I realized that that wasn't too different than what I was already doing in my practice of how I manage and how I care for my patients. So I realized then that network marketing, in the sense of telling people a story or an explanation about something that might help them, was actually pretty much what I was already doing anyways. So now we had a label for it. And within this company structure, that is the principal way in which we are able to get information out to our client base, to the people that we want to help. It's by teaching and educating about something that we know or learned about ourselves and are actually putting it to use on a personal level. So it's really not too different than what we do on a daily basis in our practices.
That's such an excellent point, Dr. Goodman. Bringing up that point of networking with people, and like I said, you're an incredible physician, and people come from all over just to see you. And you have educated medical students, mid-level practitioners, nursing students, medical assistants, all these years. And now I know you're on our company's science advisory board because you're an incredible educator, and I thank you so much for that. I'd love to just, segue into the last question. We talk about this all the time, how much you love educating, and you've done that locally for so long, but now you get to interact with people globally, people you don't even know. Tell us a little bit about that story for
Well,
us.
if you've already realized, I probably have a sort of a big mouth, and I can't shut up about things that I get really excited about. And these other esteemed physicians who are with us today, Deb and Sean, are also instrumental in this company at high levels, because we are very vocal about the science-based aspects of this company and the fact that they are really pushing the boundaries of what we can do using nutritional science to turn on cell signaling. And it's not anything that I really knew about before. And when our voice became heard, when we realized that we have the ability to impact so many people, like Deb Viglione said, even past the people that she was just managing in her practice, we were reaching a subset of people that had never heard this information. And when we got out into the public forum and got onto a platform or a stage or an auditorium where we were able to explain this science in this network marketing approach, we realized that the impact that we had was so much greater than what we could have done if we just stayed within our practice. So honestly, I have absolutely no shame in saying that I'm a professional network marketer now, but yet I'm also a doctor. I don't think the two are necessarily non-congruent with each other. I think they serve each other. And I don't think that in the process of doing this, I have diminished my reputation, not one iota, because in fact, it's actually brought more people to my doorstep seeking help, seeking results, seeking information. Because I got to tell you what, the world is extremely hungry right now for hope. We have so much going on right now. We are being challenged every single day by the environment, by biological threats, by the air that we breathe, by the stress levels that we are suffering. And to have an option to allow us to have some sort of major defense mechanism is absolutely incredible. And I got to tell you, people are looking for this. If you breathe air, if you eat food, if you are suffering in any way, shape, or form that your body is taking a hit, there is a nutrigenomic answer for the problem. And that's the message that I've been able to get out to the public.
You know what? You said my favorite word. It's hope. And that's what this company is about. This is what it's about. It's hope. It's about positivity. It's about looking forward to our future. It's about collaborating with people like the three of you. I just can't even tell you how incredibly grateful and thankful I am for each of you for taking time out tonight. Yes, our company offers hope. I'd love, Dr. McKee, if you could just close us out tonight, because I want you to know this. You are the reason that the three of us are here today. So if you are not sharing hope with all of us, we wouldn't be here. And this is what we need. We need more people sharing this incredible secret with other people. So Dr. McKee, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Dr. Deb Vigliam, Dr. Neil Goodman, again, thank you for your service to our country. And Dr. McKee, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you again. This was wonderful. And you're so right, because when I found out about this 9 years ago this month, I couldn't believe that I hadn't heard about it. I mean, I've been about health and wellness my entire life. My first job after training horses and teaching riding lessons was at a health and wellness facility. And my job in college was teaching fitness classes and working at a health and wellness facility. At the time I found out about this, I was part owner in a 140,000 square foot health and wellness facility that had 7 pools, an indoor track, and 80 plus fitness classes every single week. And I didn't know about this. And so when I realized there was something that addressed the upstream cause of why everything went awry after age 20, after age 30, and more so with each passing decade, I was like on fire with the realization that people were praying for this answer. People wanted to know that this was possible, but didn't believe that it was, didn't think it was possible. And I'm here to tell you it's possible. It has peer-reviewed published studies. It has patents. The National Institute on Aging has studied it. The National Institutes of Health, which is part, the parent organization of NIA. And this is the only thing other than a pharmaceutical that's ever been proven to extend healthy lifespan in a mammal, not a worm, not a fly, but a mammal. We can't be testing humans because we live too long and the researchers would be dead. But this is so big. And when I realized that I didn't know about it, I knew that the rest of the world didn't know about it either. And I thought, I can get on top of the roof and shout it. You need this. It's real. It works. It's at the gene level. It's a game changer. But I'm only one person. And so I realized this whole thing, Dr. Neil and Debbie, you mentioned network marketing. It is just a bunch of people standing on the rooftops, letting their neighborhood know about it. And it just is like the old Pantene commercials. They'll tell 2 people who tell 2 people who tell 2 people, and the screen gets filled up with faces. I'm dating myself. You millennials won't know what I'm talking about, but it's so exciting because people are praying for an answer. People have tried, acai berry and pomegranate and ginkgo biloba and ginseng and, turmeric, all those wonderful things. They're great, but they don't turn on the switches. They don't flip the switch on your DNA the way that this does. And they don't have the power that this does. Nutrition's not enough. We are not living in our grandparents' organic farm-raised grass-fed world anymore. We're breathing pollution, we're drinking pollution, we are eating pollution and chemicals. We're putting it all around us in our houses. And even if our houses are perfect, we go into a store where they use chemicals. We can't get away from it. So we have to biohack. We have to optimize our biology to deal with the stresses that we are in today. And we need help. We're 4 people. We are on 4 rooftops, people. So if you are hearing this message and someone shared this with you, please get back to that person and ask them for more information.